Hi, my name is Lisa Krannichfeld, and I'm an artist living and working out of Little Rock, Arkansas. I was born and raised here. I took my first drawing class here at Parkview High School in Little Rock, and I haven't really stopped drawing since. Although now I don't just draw, I also paint and collage and make cyanotypes, which is an alternative photography technique that I also collage into artworks, so my works are really mixed media nowadays. I taught art at the middle and high school level for about 8 years, all the while making my own art. And then about 5 years ago, I decided to quit teaching and just make art full time, and I've been doing that ever since, and I now paint and exhibit and have art and collections all over the world. I'm a figurative and portrait artist, which means my work mainly focuses on depicting the human face and body. When I was first learning to draw portraits and figures, I would focus on trying to make them look realistic. I would also try to make self-portraits as practice because you're the easiest model to have. All you need is a mirror. However, now my work is a lot more focused on expressionism with a lot of emotion in how I draw the human faces and gestures. I really want the paintings to evoke emotion in the people that are looking at my artwork too. I'm not particularly interested in if the person looks like a real or actual person. Sometimes my paintings include just a face. Sometimes they're a face with clothing, like this one, or the entire body, like this one. I love using hands a lot in the full body ones to express a lot of emotion. Hands are very expressive, and they're also one of my favorite things to paint and draw. Sometimes I'll leave out the majority of the face so the viewer focuses in on the hands and the clothing. I like to have a lot of strong colors and patterns in my pieces. I'll often mix all these different variations of materials and colors together. I think it just adds a lot of visual interest to the work, and then also creates a story in the viewer's mind about what's going on and what kind of environment this person is in, what their clothing is trying to tell about the person. So this is where I do most of the drawing and painting. Natural light is really good for drawing and painting. It gives you an honest view of your colors that you're using. Here are some Asian watercolors that I use as well. You've probably seen watercolors that come in tubes like this. So I use both those and this kind. Chinese ink, and this is the stone I poured into, and then I use this little dish pan for my colors. 3 of my favorite brushes. This is a Chinese brush. It holds a lot of water, which is useful for my purposes. And then these are for more detailed areas that I'm painting. This is a finished portrait study. So you can kind of see those materials in action with the ink and the watercolors all mixed together. These are all finished pieces of art that I hang up. I like to look at what I've done previously. It kind of helps me know which direction to go with the next artwork. And then here are some pieces that I have drawn. And these are beginning stages pieces where I'm just working everything out before I add in paint. This is my box of collage papers, and the pieces that I collage clothing into. These are the different areas or different patterns that I may use. I have a lot of fun mixing materials and colors. The specific materials I use now are ink, watercolor, acrylic, paper collage, and then resin is the final finish, which is that glossy glass-like finish on the pieces. Let's go into the resin room. The piece is done. I'll do a resin finish on this table here. This one was just resined yesterday, so you can kind of see how smooth and glossy it is. It takes a really long time to cure. After you mix it up, there's a lot of air bubbles in the resin, and so the blowtorch gets rid of all the bubbles. It's really cool. And this is the resin room, and that is my studio. My advice for any young artists out there is to make a lot of work. Making art is just like learning any other new skill. It takes practice and persistence. Making a lot of work is the best way to uncover your passions, which then leads you to make better and better work. Another piece of advice is to not be afraid of making bad work. This is something that even I have to constantly remind myself. If you didn't make bad work, then how would you ever know if you made good work? It takes one to be able to appreciate the other. I hope you found some interesting things to incorporate into your own self-portrait making from this video. The greatest thing about art is that there is no one way to do anything. It's a constant journey on finding new ways to create. Good luck with your self-portraits. Thanks for joining me in my studio.